So we're looking at the quarter scale pattern now for the jacket, and we have gone to town on the half scale and turned it into a very bright looking pattern. What I'm doing now on this quarter scale pattern is just drawing in the facing that we put onto the half scale so that we're aware it's there. So I'm going to place that in. I'm not going to mark any of the pockets or the chest piece on here, otherwise it will go insanely covered in pen. But what we are going to look at is putting on the facing to these pieces. We will come back to the sleeve separately, although it's a very, very similar process. We don't need to do this, but it's always good to remember that the facing is grown on and it will be folding up. Facings are normally about 4 centimetres, so I would just, in this space here, 4 centimetres for facing. And in general, that's a general rule for all facings, it's between 4 and 6 centimetres, and that can be the same for facings in armholes and necklines. Any less than 4, they become too piddly is a good word, but also they become too ineffective in their job. And then any bigger than 6 is possible. I particularly like deep facings on the back necklines of raincoats, and that's also a good place to put in a really good label. But a really deep facing on a raincoat is really good because it protects the lining from the rain. Now, this represents the 4 centimetres depth there because this is quarter scale, so that's nice and easy to understand. So I have dropped down here and I've done the same on the side. Now, hard to see at this scale, but what we have to be conscious of is that we are mirroring, reflecting the line. So when this folds up, this angle is the same. So it might be that it comes more that way if there's an angle. I mean, this one is actually pretty straight. This one, you can definitely see more of an angle, and so if we were doing this in real scale, we might be folding and using our tracing wheel, or we would be taking that point and then rejoining it up. I mean, the thickness of this pen line doesn't help in terms of that, but it's important to remember that these bits need to reflect what they are folding on, or mirroring, or truing, but I think mirroring and reflecting is more of a term that people can connect with. And the same here, we're going to do the same here on the bottom. So I've just come down from where the facing piece ends there, and I'm going to square across to this point here. So we have the front facing there, and this would be the fold line, and the same for the side, fold line, and then the same for the back. Now at the moment we don't have any vents, and we haven't put any vent there, so we're going to look at vents separately because they can be slightly confusing. But what we've added on here are the facings for the side and the back. I again want to look at the facings for this separately in detail because it just involves a little bit more thought because we're putting vents on. But for now we would be coming down the same 1 centimetre and squaring those points off. So let's just quickly pop those on. So they run parallel to the hemlines, and again we would have to be conscious of reflecting any seams like that. On a menswear jacket, it's uncommon to see a back facing, but I do like them. But if this measurement here is 4 centimetres, then so would this one need to be 4, and we would come around something like that. That's obviously not a piece on the fold, it would be a separate pattern piece that we would need to copy off. I think we're looking at, for a jacket like this, pocketing, lining, collars, under collars, fusing pieces. We're looking at over 60 pattern pieces for it in general. So that's just adding the facings on to the pattern, and we will need to come back and revisit to finish the sleeves.